it. Affirmation station, affirmation station. What's today's affirmation?
My name is Sharente Carr, and I am the conductor on this here train where we learn how to maintain our mind, our body, and our spirit before going to the next destination. This stop has transfers for the best day ever on platform 2 or the worst day ever on platform 3. Choose wisely on how you're going to see your day on today. Like every show, I'll be walking you through 4 exercises to kickstart or invigorate your day with your mind at peace, your soul feeling loved, and your body yada yada feeling right. For today's topic, I actually will be interviewing Jesper about building a positive company culture. In this conversation, Jesper shares his journey of becoming a leader and the importance of team building and culture building. He emphasizes the value of active listening and empathy in leadership, as well as he discusses his concept of FAM leadership, which is an acronym, y'all. Okay. And I absolutely loved interviewing him in this entire episode. So, without further ado, I have to introduce you guys to a couple of things first, such as how do we do these fun exercises? So that you can easily follow along, let me give you 2 sounds to listen out for. This first sound is this ding dong means simply that we are beginning a exercise. And if you should hear this sound, this means the exercise has come to a close. Now let's head to the pre-workout. Let's ease some energy that has been stagnant. Shake it and wake it up just a little bit more. What we're going to do is a hand exercise. This is something that I learned from Lois Hampson, who is a frequent guest of Affirmation Station show. And it goes a little something like this. It begins by us rubbing our hands together, literally taking the flat palm of your hands and just rubbing them side to side like we're about to start a fire, y'all. That is the first exercise. So come on and rub your hands together. I think I'm rubbing them so hard that they're causing a fire in my hands. Okay. Now stop. And if you want to, you can shake out your hands. Shake them just like you just don't care. Just don't make sure you don't hit your face. Like safety first, Safety. Okay, and stop. Exercise completed. Now that we know the sounds that abound on this ground and we woke up just a little bit more with that pre-workout, we're going to this first exercise called Say It and Claim It. This is all about speaking words of affirmation. So if you're feeling down, remember it is a-okay to frown. Just remember that you can speak yourself back up with compliments or saying, I love you. So now it's time to repeat after me to keep you beautifully free. And just so you know, the exercises are simple. Just repeat the affirmations inside your head or out loud with that beautiful voice of yours. Okay, now let's begin. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I trust myself. I honor myself. Oh yeah, I got you doing all the sentences fast. I value myself. I approve of myself. I approve of the decisions that I make. Every day and in every way, my life gets better and better. Exercise completed. I'm so proud of you for taking the time to speak some life into yourself. So now let's head to the next exercise. This next exercise is called the breeze of breathing. This is where we focus on our life force, our chi, our prana, if you will. Breathing is a natural thing that our body does without us even asking. Today, we are going to consciously breathe because it allows our bodies to, one, be energized, and two, it allows us to focus our mind and tap into our inner light that makes us up because it's fun to do. And this exercise that we're doing today is the 4-7-8 technique. And it goes a little something like this. It begins by us inhaling through our nose for 4 counts, holding for 7 counts, and then exhaling through our mouth for 8 counts. Simple, right? I try to make it simple over here. The only disclaimers that I have for this exercise is if you start feeling lightheaded, please soften or slow your approach or simply stop. If you are pregnant or you think that you are pregnant, please don't hold your breath. Just breathe slowly and follow along. Now, without further ado, let's go to the 4-7-8 technique. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mess up, y'all. It happens. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now go back into naturally breathing. I'm so proud of you for breathing into you. Now that your body is relaxed, we're moving on to the third exercise of the day. I know we went through 3 here. We're at 3 already. I know. Very fast, very fast. This exercise is called Tap It In. In this exercise, we're going to be doing the emotional freedom technique, also known as EFT tapping, which is alternative therapy for anxiety, post traumatic stress disorder, chronic pain, weight loss, and many, many, many other conditions. Okay. The only disclaimer that I have for this is that it's not recommended if you're currently driving or operating heavy machinery. No matter in your good health, pregnant, or experiencing illness, please be gentle with the taps on your body, yada yada. Thank you. Back to our regularly scheduled show. So today we're going to be doing 2 taps, and they're going to be on the eyebrow because they on fleek. And 2 is going to be the thymus tap. So I'm going to take the time to explain to you how to do these taps. Then we're going to pair that with words of affirmation, the ones that we were using in the first one, and say it and claim it. And then we're just going to, do what we do. Are y'all ready? I'm ready. Okay. The first tap is actually the eyebrows. The eyebrows, why we do this is because it dissolves trauma, hurt, and sadness and allows peace and emotional healing. How to do this tap is to take your 2 fingers on both hands and go literally at the where the bridge of your nose is at the very top. That's the part of the eyebrow I want you to tap on. And you're just going to do it gently, just tapping on that area. Okay, just gently. And that's that tap. Second tap is the thymus tap. The thymus tap is the point that activates all your meridian points, as well as it balances the immune system. So if you're having something going on with your body, I recommend just doing this, just tapping just a little bit, rubbing on that area. If that area is too sensitive to tap on, that is fine. Just do what you gotta do and make sure that you take care of you, boo boo. That's all I ask. So, how to do this tap is literally to tap on that point. So that point is on your top of that chest bone. It literally is it's the divide in between your breast area. And we're just gonna tap on that area. Just tap down, just pat down, just be gentle with your taps. Okay. And that's that. This also anchors in all the aligning and dissolving that we're doing as well. So, without further ado, I have to give you one of the most important instructions that I forgot to tell you, and I'm sorry. It's you got to accept what you're feeling right now, whatever it is, whether you're angry, mad, so we accept this feeling because it also gives us where we are in our life, whether we're experiencing joy, laughter, or some sadness. Either way, it's okay. I think I've talked long enough to have you accept yourself. Okay, I think I've talked long enough. I try to stall it. Okay, so now we're going to go into the taps as well as while we're doing the taps, we're saying these affirmations either inside our mind or out loud. Either way it goes, you choose what works best for you. Now, while tapping on your eyebrows, repeat after me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I trust myself. Now switch on the tapping. We're going to start tapping on the thymus, which is on top of that chest bone. Okay. Now resume repeating after me. I honor myself. I value myself. I approve of myself. I approve of the decisions that I make. Every day and in every way, my life gets better and better. Exercise completed. We have one more exercise before we head off to the topic section. Let's go. We have one more section, and that right there is going to be for, oopsie. We have one more exercise, and let's just go ahead and get into it. This exercise is called venting gratitude. This is where we take the time to vent gratitude for whatever it is that we want to appreciate and uplift in our lives. The instructions are simple for this one. Just start out by saying thank you and then start listing whatever it is that you're thankful for. We do this in a rampage style, so that simply means that we're going to go in on whatever it is that we're grateful for until the exercise comes to a close. You will know it comes to a close because you're going to hear this sound. And that's going to let you know that we are done with our rampage. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Thank you so much, God, for this day. Thank you so much for my voice. Thank you so much for water. Ooh, thank you, God, for showers. Thank you for all my plushies. Thank you for my husband. Thank you for my dog. Thank you so much for my vehicles and they're operating safely. Thank you so much also for my safety. Thank you for all the nourishment that I've had today. Thank you that I've been able to find the bathrooms today. Thank you so much that I'm able to see today. And thank you for all the parts that make up me. Thank you so much for all of the assistance that you've provided me today, as well as I'm just thankful for just all of that makes up today in this world. Just thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. Exercise completed. You guys were on fire today. You did it, and I'm so proud of you because you matter. Yeah, you do. Now that we've taken the time to run through all of these fun exercises, it wasn't more of a run, it was a walk, leisurely stroll, if you will. We're going to take some time to celebrate ourselves because we are great just being who we are. Now, I would like to give you a round of applause. You go, bestie. You go, bestie. I am so proud of you for pouring all that love into your cup because you are worth it before you even poured anything into you. And you're still worth it after because your worth is not defined by what happens in life. You were born worthy. Hey, hey, welcome to the topic section. I have a wonderful guest because I told y'all I was bring in subject matter experts, y'all, to share their story. And I am honored to have Jesper on my show where we're going to be talking about team building, culture building, as well as how do you foster that from within yourself to help the organization that you're in. Jesper, go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience.
Trente and everyone out there, good morning from Los Angeles. I'm excited to join you today. So, I'd like to start off by sharing a quick story, and it's a memory that my mother had of me, an early memory. She shared it with me a few years ago, but the memory was when I was maybe about age 5 or 6. I actually said, when I grow up, I want to be a leader. When I grow up, I want to be a leader. Now, we think about that. Sounds really cool, but if you reflect deeply, at age 5 or 6, what does a 5 or 6-year-old know about leadership? However, over time, I realized various opportunities just fell into my lap. Growing up, I was always encouraged to do volunteer work and community service and other things in serving the community. When I went to college, I was involved in extracurricular activities like student government and youth student orientation. When I landed my first job right out of college, I was actually promoted to a team leader position, and that gave me the opportunity to really lead a team. And I was inspired by the work I did during that time. I went back to school to get my executive master's degree in leadership, and then after graduating, I landed into a management development program for a Fortune 500 company. So I have a academic and corporate background in leadership. And what I've learned over the years, leadership to me is really putting in the time and effort to make a difference in yourself and the lives of others. So that's what leadership means to me.
I absolutely love that. I resonate on it from the deepest level. At 2 years old, I had my hands on my hip and I still have this photo. And my family has deemed me the chairman of the board since I was two. Uh, and I have been doing my best to live up to that expectation, but also I've always been a natural leader as well. And I love telling people you can lead without you having a leader title. It's leading with from within to help others lead more efficient. And that is beautiful too. So I love to hear that you got your academic side and your corporate side together because I love a holistic approach. I really do. It makes me excited. Sorry, y'all. Don't mind my little shakety shakes. These are just, I'm sure I'm just excited right now
I love
because I love leadership. And the reason I love leadership is because what I found is having a great leader is having someone that's an active listener who sees your greatness even when you can't, and they help you achieve that greatness while you're with them, or they plant the seed so in your next you're continually growing. So I love to hear that you started from a young age. And I have some questions because you have, I believe it's here, this is a fun name. Fam family what is this?
FamiLEAD.
Family? Okay, I gotta know what this is. So I'm like, I don't know how to say it, but it has intrigued me. What does this mean?
Absolutely. With family, it's a playoff of the word family and leadership. What it When I look at what it means to me and the values, I see it as a sense of belonging, a sense of community, a sense of bringing people together. And that word family entails those values in what I believe leadership is to be.
Oh, I love that. It's the compassionate approach because when you have a
Absolutely.
family member, you are very compassionate and give them a lot more grace. Also, when you are thinking about just normal interactions of connection. So I love it. Like I'm here for it. I'm here for it right now. Oh, okay. Y'all have to ask him more questions, not just be in awestruck. I can do this. I can do this. I can be a professional. Uh
Real quick though, I wanted to mention a great point that you brought up earlier. Believing in others. It reminds me of a quote that I've been sharing a lot from John Maxwell. And in one of his books, John Maxwell says, "Helping others grow and develop brings great joy, satisfaction, and energy." And I'll say that again: helping others grow and develop brings great joy, satisfaction, and energy. And I picked that up from John Maxwell, and it really brings a lot to what we can offer as leaders in helping others become better versions of themselves. So you brought up an excellent point earlier.
I love that. One person that I love so much is a John Maxwell. I love that dude. And I've been reading his books since I was young. I have devotionals that that I still open to today. And like, what's today's date? Okay, let me see what John Maxwell said about today. And I absolutely love it. So many listeners can be aspiring leaders and not realizing that they're already leaders. Okay, little side note. But at the end of the day, I would love to know what are some key qualities or habits that they can start developing now to be effective leaders of their life and or company.
Absolutely. It starts with active listening. I know there's research out there that many people speak or listen to respond instead of listen to understand. And in becoming a more active listener, you're really giving the other person a voice. And when you give the other person a voice, you're really opening them up to be more more. They feel like they're being heard, and when they feel like they're being heard, they'll really put in the time and effort to help you reach your goals or visions that you have in mind. Another one is empathy, really supporting others. The greatest leaders really put in that type and time and effort to understand what people are going through. I mean, we always hear stories of those micromanagers who just throw a task at their employee's desk, and all these employees are being burned out, and they're stressed, they're overwhelmed, and all these micromanagers are wondering why, and then you realize it's because these employees, they're not feeling that sense of being understood. They're just getting this mountain of tasks that just piles on top of their desk. And if the manager only took the time to say, "Hey, how are you doing? What can we do to make your day better? How can I help you?" These are the conversations that would make employees a lot more productive.
Oh, I, I took notes because that's something as an active listener. You take notes. Okay. You have to write things down because it helps you to remember some of the very key points because learning about, let's say, from a leadership perspective from corporate, learning about your employee and what their personal goals are and their career goals, you can truly champion them. I always tell people what people really want is to feel heard. They want to feel seen and they want to be appreciated. These are the three things everybody wants. And if you can give them these three, oh, they're gonna say you one of the best leaders ever, right there. Those three, and I love it because, like, for me, active listening was one of the hardest things to learn. Being able to just sit and to be able to really hear and not want to open your mouth immediately. That is a serious skill by itself, and it takes patience. I can say that with yourself. It also takes patience with listening to the other, especially if the other has accessibility issues or differently abled, is what I like to call them. and they are slower to speech. No, you just have to sit, be patient, don't be so quick to speak, and listen. Even though you want to. We know, we feel it because we've been here. I'm guessing you've been here too, right? You're like, I just want to say something. You know what? No, I need to pause. I need to really absorb what they're saying because what they're saying is not really what they're saying. Because when you actively listen, you can hear the roots of what they're really talking about, not just the surface level, but you can really have a deep understanding and give them what they need because you took the time to actively listen. So I absolutely love it. Um, so my next question for you, because we're about here, I don't want to run out of time, so I'm gonna make sure I ask all the good questions. Is company culture. Okay, this is something that every time I go into a company, they have it and it's a little toxic, and I put my little healing juju on. I'm like, you gonna be gone. We gonna not have no negativity. We're gonna take care of ourselves. We ain't gonna burn out today. So my question to you is, as someone that is a leader, before you became a leader, how did you help build strong and positive culture around you?
Absolutely. First off, I want to share statistics about how impactful company culture can be. So, when an organization and employees rate their organization as poor, having a poor culture, up to 90% of employees start thinking about quitting. And that is critical for because when you're looking at turnover and that institutional knowledge, that's very valuable because you really do want to keep your best employees intact because they're the ones that are going to move your organization forward. As far as a leader and building that teamwork, for me, my story was I think the greatest example is when I was in college. And as I mentioned earlier, becoming a new student orientation leader, we had different activities where we would learn more about this idea of leadership. We would do team building activities, listen to lectures from some of our great speakers, and then just some bonding. And then I realized that's really making an impact on how we're interacting with each other. And from that experience, I realized you can take that into the workplace. And when you do, like I mentioned with my first job right out of college, I had a team that I had that opportunity to really experiment with different things. We wanted to be more efficient. So we would look at just different processes. And every week I would meet with the team and say, what can we do better? Okay, great. What can we do better? And how about another thing? What can we do better? And then over time, we just moved things around and it became so efficient that you can just walk into the workplace and point A to point B, task one, two, three. It's just so automatic that you don't have to think about it. And when you get to that point, that's when you know your leadership has been effective because the work's getting done and you don't have to put any extra effort because you've already reached a high level of performance.
I love that. What came to my mind is company culture is more than pizza parties. It is completely more than pizza
That's right.
parties. It's building, I will say there are some companies that I've worked for where they had us do a test. I did the what was it? Oh, it's not the Myers-Briggs. I've done that too. I've done the Strengths Finder. This one
Is it
was,
disc?
yes, it was the DISC assessment. I'm very influential, y'all. That's what it says. That's what it says. Even though I do all the things. Um, and I'm fine with it. What I can say though is where they drop the ball is not using it, not actually going into the teams and actually instituting this is how this person receives things, because that assessment, one, is expensive. Two, it gives you so much good information that you're like, I didn't realize I was in survival mode or my adapted environment. I'm not even operating for my natural, my normalness, my authenticity. So, like, how does one, I will say, if they are recognizing that they're having more negative moments as a leader, how can they work towards being more positive and being more involved in their life for their employees?
Ab- Absolutely. The first thing I want to make a note on the assessments, that self awareness is great because it gives you a better understanding of how other team members work. So, for example, there's an assessment that I use, and one of the qualities is a leader that prefers structure and a leader who prefers just throwing out wild ideas, brainstorming without any restrictions. And then let's say one leader talks to another leader and asks, why aren't you taking all these risks and just being very creative? Well, that might have been the leader who just preferred structured and having the way things are already organized because that's how they found efficiency. And then that other leader could say, oh well, why couldn't you be more organized and having everything running more smoothly? Everything's going off the rails. What in the world? But when you have this awareness of how people work, you can really gain a better understanding of what's driving their behavior. So this creative leader could say, okay, I know that this sense of stability is what really keeps you grounded. And then that structured leader can say, I understand that innovation is really what moves you. So having this understanding of how each other work, that really gives you a better perspective of how people can work together. So as far as removing that negativity, again, it goes into listening and then having that empathy. And in many leadership books, as you read through them, you'll find a lot of pages and written documentation on communication. And that is not a coincidence because communication plays a very big role, especially in this world where we're seeing more work going remote and hybrid. It's not the same where we used to be in office, where it was more common to be in office and you could easily check in with an employee or your manager and just have a quick chat. Nowadays, you have to be more intentional. And that's what I would encourage, more intentional conversations with the people you work with. So as far as building a more positive work environment, it's really in reinforcing that communication and being there for others.
I love that. One quote that comes to me is here you go. I believe it is oh my gosh. It's the Brene Brown quote about transparency and how you want to be overly transparent with your person, letting them know, hey, transparency is kind. I think that's what it is. Or clear is kind. Clear is kind.
Clear
It
is
just
kind.
it takes me a second. I'm like, it's in my spirit because for me, sometimes I over communicate, but I realize I'm like, you know what? It's not because I don't do that because I don't feel like I'm enough. I do that because I really want them to understand where I'm coming from. And a lot can get lost in text. A lot can get lost in emails, which is a completely different thing than having a conversation like the one we're having right now. It's different. We're more face to face. It and you can hear the inflection of my tone. You can hear I'm excited. You can sometimes hear that from an email, even if you write it in all caps, which sounds like you're yelling, by the way. Or with exclamation points at the end, yelling, by the way, but it's more of a softer approach. So, one thing that I actually want to ask you, you, sir, are a 15th marathon runner. Is
I,
that what I?
I'm training for number 15. That is correct, Shrente.
Oh my good gracious, googly moogly. Oh. So I have a question for you about this, sir,
Absolutely.
because I know that it takes one resilience, and I know you failed a lot. Okay, when it comes to not getting to where you wanted to get or the timing that you're looking to get. My question to you is, how do you face challenges and setbacks?
Absolutely. And it's not easy, especially in my journey running a marathon. When I first started, I was working my way up. I decided to start with 5K, then move up to 10K, half marathon, and then the full marathon. But it's not without its challenges. I just remember first, with that discipline, you have to make sure you're putting in the time each day to really just get used to the training. I remember when I started, like early in the days when I started, I would be laying in bed, not wanting to put my running shoes on. But I realized, you know what, let's take it step by step. Just put my shoes on, step outside, see what happens, and just keep doing that for a while. And then your mind just gets used to it when you get used to a certain routine. And that's something I would recommend if you want to try a new venture. It's setting up a routine that you can get used to so you can take one step at a time. And then over time, I mean, when I stepped up, of course, there were days when I would be out in the trails, just completely tired and exhausted, wondering why I got myself into this. But I would remind myself to keep going, understanding what I'm trying to accomplish. Because for many people, a marathon is a big goal, and it is. But for when I remind myself why I signed up, it was like a bucket list. I really wanted to do this. And when you have that purpose within you, that's something that'll carry you forward. So training for a marathon, it's not without its challenges. It's absolutely, there were so many, but it's that purpose that really reminded me to keep moving forward. And over the years, yes, I am training for number 15.
I love that. I love to hear it. And I wrote a couple things down because I told you I'm an active listener. So when I have thoughts that pop up, instead of trying to listen to respond, I write things down so I can eventually come back to it. It's one of the ways that I help myself effectively communicate. And something that you said was baby steps, one step at a time, one moment at a time. And you have those negative thoughts, or the ants, I like to call them, automatic negative thoughts that came up saying, "Yes." And you're like, "No, I am gonna do it. I know I may not feel like it, but I'm not gonna complain because I'm choosing to actively show up for myself because my physical well-being is just as important as my mental well-being, which is just as important as my spiritual well-being because I am multifaceted and I love it." So, because we have to do a little bit of a wrap up, I here, the listeners need to know, where can they find you, Jess?
Absolutely. There's two ways you can find me. First, my website, FamiLEADconsulting.com. And the more easier way is I encourage you to connect with me on LinkedIn. Search for Jessper Maquindang. I'm more than happy to have conversations about leadership, personal growth, professional development. Feel free to reach out. Happy to have those conversations with you.
Perfect. Y'all heard it here. He let us know where to find him. Please seek him out, especially if you're looking for his type of support, which is amazing support, by the way. If you are a leader at a Fortune 500 company and you need that additional assistance, you don't know where to go, and you are sick and tired of being sick and tired of people telling you you are not the best leader and you're having bad performance reviews after bad performance reviews, please reach out to him and seek the help that you need, because at the end of the day, we all want you to live your best life. That's why I do Affirmation Station, is because all of us deserve to walk in our divine oration, aka our divine speech, in the way that we express ourselves and fully authentic. So, y'all, this is the end of the topic section. Now we're about to go to gifts. Welcome, bestie, to the gift section. This is where I let you know what is presently in the know for you. Today, I wanted to present to you the Rewrite Your Life Story with Vision Board Guide that I created with you in mind. I've already completed 2 successful vision boards in my life, and I've realized that what it takes to get to where you want to be is to make it plain even to yourself. And it requires you to evaluate all areas of your life and then set goals for those areas. Even if you're not actively working on those goals, you still have them in mind. So, in this package, it's a comprehensive guide, 6 templates for goal setting, 6 line pages for reflection, 2 visualization aids. In addition to that, I am literally giving you the game on how to get this manifestation, this prayer answered on. Right now, this is free 99, as in it's free, $0. Okay. The price, though, will go up. So head to affirmationstationshow.com to get your vision board guide today. It is called Rewrite Your Life Story. Click on Connect. From Connect, you will find this in the store section. I hope you have a great day, because I heard the choo-choo, it gotta go through, which simply means the Affirmation Station Show. We have gotten to our stop. I'm not saying that you got to get out of bed. I'm not saying that you have to get off work, because I don't got that clearance. I'm just saying that this train is going full steam ahead. I want to thank you so much for riding with me to Affirmation Station. You may now exit the train and head to your destination. There are transfers for the best day ever on platform 2. or the worst day ever on platform 3. Choose wisely on how you're still going to see your day on today. I will catch you back here for another amazing episode of Affirmation Station Show, where we will be talking about the past, the present, and the futures of relationship according to the brain with Dawn Bennett. You don't want to miss this. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, life is a collection of nows, so let's make a perfect one together. I love you to infinity and beyond. Ta-ta for now. Affirmation Station, Affirmation Station. What's today's affirmation? Thank you so much for listening to this new episode of Affirmation Station Show. Remember to rate and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast streaming platform. Be sure to give me a follow or DM me on Instagram at SharenTakeCar your key takeaways and your thoughts on this episode and what future topics I should cover. That's all for now. Until next time, see you.